Well, good morning. I'm Natalie Collada, and this is CBC News Network. Today is a day of reflection, recognition, and reaffirmation across Canada. It is the third annual National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, a time to pause and confront this country's shameful legacy of residential schools, and to reconsider the next steps on what is a long journey of healing. A national gathering on Parliament Hill in Ottawa is just one of the many events that will be held today, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, and we will have full live coverage when that gets underway. Our Olivia Stefanovic is there to set things up for us today. This morning, Olivia, let's talk about sort of the significance of this day and just why it's more than just symbolism for so many.
Well, Natalie, I'm on Parliament Hill here where people are already starting to gather to mark the third National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. You might be able to see a couple people with orange shirts on behind me. There's also a large stage set up for an event that will be put on by the Aboriginal People's Television Network and the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation, where we will hear from residential school survivors directly. And the location of this event is significant. It's surrounded by the buildings of Parliament where the residential school policy in Canada was born, and where Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, stood up in the House of Commons in 1883 and explained that the policy of residential schools wasn't just to educate Indigenous children. He actually went on to say, Natalie, that it's not enough to teach Indigenous children in their own communities with their families, that Canada actually has to take these children away from their communities, away from their families, to ensure that they adopt the thoughts and habits, he said, of white men. So that is the purpose of residential schools as John A. Macdonald saw it, and it's something that was upheld by the federal government for more than a century. So today is a day of awareness, it's a day of education, but it's also a day of resilience, a day to remind Canada that Indigenous peoples are still here, their culture is being revitalized, and it's also a way to show that the culture is still vibrant and to show that residential school survivors did in fact survive, and they are here to share their stories.
And a reclaiming of that power we have heard from so many, Olivia. I'm wondering if you can talk to us a little bit more about your interview with the Minister for Crown and Indigenous Relations about today. Can you tell us a little bit about the conversations you had with him?
Yeah, I had the chance to catch up with Gary Endensangari. He was at an event in Toronto, and he was quite candid talking about his role, the way he sees his purpose being shuffled into this new role as the Crown Indigenous Relations Minister just over the summer. So he's new to the position, but he knows the issues well, and he says that reconciliation is the most important job for his government. Let's take a listen now to his message on this National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
It's about Canada living up to its past and facing up to the reality that Canada failed as a nation, that successive governments failed. And for us, today, it's about understanding how we move forward. It's to support each other, it's to support and learn from each other, and to move forward in a manner where this will never happen again. This can never.
Governor General Mary Simon released a statement today on the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Simon is the first Indigenous Governor General, and she says that today is not just about reflecting, it's a day of action. And there are specific things that Canadians can do today. She says that they can listen to survivors, honor the memory of the children who died and who never came home, and also learn from the mistakes of the past to make sure that this never happens again.
Olivia, thank you very much. CBC's Olivia Stefanovic on Parliament Hill in Ottawa for us.